300, and this is the Corner Store Podcast. No frills, no music, no nothing. Just talk today. It is 2026, obviously. Already in February. I believe it's February the 5th. Let me make sure. Yeah, February the 5th, Thursday, bro. Hey, I don't know if people realize this or not, but there's a lot of shit going on that people need to be talking about. We got a government that is getting very close to being, if not already, a dictatorship. Now, what does that mean for somebody like myself or you and me just talking about it on this podcast? Well, what it does say is that we really don't have the rights that we thought we had. Now, you probably at work, going to work, coming from work, off from work. And if you notice, the recurring theme in what I'm saying is work. I just so happen to be a content creator. I had a job interview the other day. It went pretty well. I don't know if I got the job or not. But that's also to supplement my income while I continue to do what I'm doing now and try to raise my cup and get me a glass of champagne, metaphorically speaking. Because I'm going to keep doing this until the day I leave here and try to become a success. Corner Store Television has gradually grown. It's taken a long time to get to people that have subscribed, that have become members, to even, look algorithm wise. It takes a long time for people to start seeing you. I don't know if to be honest with you, I don't know if they suppress views. I don't know any of that. All I know is I broke through and I got a certain amount of people that watch me every day or that watch my content every day, not me per se. All I know is live streaming has been what's up for the longest. I remember when old boy, before he went to prison, what's the rapper name with the big head that shot Megan Thee Stallion? I can't think of his name right now. He was one of the top live streaming niggas on YouTube. He was really popping at one time. He was popping until, that incident where Megan got shot, and now he's in prison. I know dude named, I just can't call it right now. He came up because I remember I was watching his live stream back in the day. And it was real Kai Cenat like. I don't know if a lot of people know about Kai Cenat. It's kind of weird how he got famous. It's weird how Drewski got fame. And it's not about fame for me. It never has been. What it is about is being able to economically take care of myself and maybe put some stuff away for eventually when I do pass, my kids will have something that their father left from them that's substantial. Anybody, it's one thing to have insurance policies. Mostly what's gonna happen when you got an insurance policy when you die, it might be a couple thousand or a few thousand left. Let's say you get $100,000 insurance policy, and after you've paid into it for 6 years, something actually happens to you and they have to get that money. What's up, Best man? What's good? How's everything going, bro? Shout out to the homeboy Best from Nantes, France. Vive la France. Parlez-vous français? Only reason why I'm saying that is because those are the French words I know. Or I should just go say bonjour, bon, or whatever. I know I'm terrible at this shit, man. You already know, Matt. But as I was saying, let's just say you have a $100,000 insurance policy. You pass away after paying into it for about 6 years, and the kids get the money. They bury you, and most of the times, or you have to be cremated. Either way, the funeral company, the people who are gonna do that, that's big business. You know what I'm saying? The most average funeral costs about 15 grand. Insurance, it's not the end all beat all. It's not, you might be able to, the smart play, if you had insurance, you have an insurance policy where you can borrow against the policy. That's tax-free money. And if you are going to have insurance policies to be the legacy that you leave, you better have more than one. You better have more than one. You better have one that's going to bury you, and you better have one that you can pass on to the beneficiary so that person can be able to borrow against that money. That's an investment. Or you can do what I'm doing and try to establish some type of real, tangible thing that can continue after you leave here. My ultimate goal for Corner Store Television is it actually become that, what I call it, an actual channel where you can see programming like like podcasts. Obviously, my podcast could, depending on how important or how popular the podcast will be, and it's going to be more than just Corner Store Podcast. If my actual network becomes a network that people, with 1 million viewers or something like that, they're going to be podcasts screaming, podcasts of some substance, meaning that actually have followers and people who watch, to be on the channel. We're talking about mainstream. How many podcasts is on mainstream TV? There's only a few. Big Facts, on Revolt and all that, Drink Champs, the Breakfast Club, which is really a podcast when you really think about it. I want to give podcasts that don't have that reach, that type of a platform, or give podcasts that do have that reach, a platform. Because really, if you can put them on your channel, Corner Store TV or whatever, whoever's channel, that is going to bring revenue to your channel because that's advertisement. I don't know why this shit keeps popping up. I hate this. It's on my TV. There's this damn movie that keeps popping up called Let the Devil In. I don't know why that shit keeps popping up. I do not like that shit. You know what I'm saying? Some kind of weird ass movie. Why are they always promoting these old demonic ass movies, man? I get it, The Exorcist, all that bullshit, but damn, what's going on in people's head where they be making the devil got in somebody and have them floating on the bed and shit? Man, I don't want to see that shit all the time. Fuck out of here. Anyway, this podcast today is more of opinions versus, facts or whatever. I'm not saying I'm not speaking facts, but what I am is speaking on these situations going on, like legacy, creating your own lane, not being bogged down by working on some job you hate. When I went to this job interview the other day, which is, I'll go ahead and tell you what it is. I won't tell you the company, but it's a car parts company. There's only it's not like, well, I guess it is kind of like AutoZone or any of the other parts stores, but it's not those particular ones. And I'm not going to tell you which one it is, but it was a parts oriented position dealing with auto parts. And it seemed mildly laid back. I will admit that I have a workers' comp. Got injured at a job a few years back, and that's still ongoing. But I've been cleared to work and do certain things or get certain positions. And I have to be very mindful of what jobs I take. Hence, they be too strenuous and hurt me, which I'm not scared of work or anything like that. It's just I know my limitations. I know after I've been on a job, depending on what job that is, if it's consistent of lifting up some batteries and, which me and the manager talked about, and some of those batteries are 60 pounds, 70 pounds on a consistent basis. If it's a store or if it's a warehouse, they have days when stock comes in. Who do you think is going to be the ones that's unloading that stock and not only putting it on display, having it in the area it needs to be in? If somebody comes in, they could pull it. I was assuming a lot when I went on this interview, seeing that with my position, I'd be doing most of that stuff would be already done, and then you do your part by distributing it. But then you got to think about it, man. At this point in my life, I've prayed for the ability to be able to take care of a lot of financial stuff like bills, and also pursue what I'm doing, which is the content creation and acting and doing comedy on occasion, doing improv videos with other content creators. But that stuff if you're not like popping all the time and doing it every day and it's producing some kind of income, you're gonna have to do something just like if you was a an actor. Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, all of these people that you see that are rich, that are doing it, in the business, they used to be broke. Some of them even lived in their cars. There are so many artists that I've talked to who are doing well that have these stories. They have these same stories. Before I made it, man, I was living out of my car. I lost my apartment. I was only eating bologna. There was times where it was just pork and beans and wieners during the week. You know what I'm saying? And if I was lucky, if I had a couple extra dollars for dessert to go get a Twinkie. All of these stories you're going to hear, man. All of these stories you're going to hear. You already know about the stories about rappers and before they became, well, some of them was drug dealers, some of them was waiters, some of them came out the military. You know what I'm saying? The ability to take care of yourself is something your parents my mom used to be you gotta be able to take care of yourself. They'll tell you all of that stuff you're supposed to be doing and how hard you gotta work when you're coming up. The wrong child hears these stories and how tough it is on the parents. They're going to be scared off from dealing with that. My kids used to see how had ups and downs financially, jobs, living. Like when my kids saw their mother and I break up, I had to go handle my business. Ended up fucked up too, because it's fucking tough out there, man. It is tough. So you have to create something that not only that you love, something, and all of it doesn't happen overnight. The sad thing about trying to create a lane where you can not only prosper, something that is really lucrative. Forget that, oh, well, I'll make this amount of money and it just is just enough to take care of this and pay this, and you got $10 left with it. No. It's not just the pursuit of money either. It's not. If it was just about the pursuit of money, people would go sell dope and stuff. Everybody be. The funny thing is, there's a lot of credible companies that are corporated now that have, that are making millions of dollars that started on blood money. And drug money is blood money. Embezzlement is blood money. Somebody lost out because of that. You can start your business through moral means and through means that's not going to hurt nobody. But a lot of these companies that we talk about every day, that we see every day, are ran by people, and not just the skin color. How many black people you know are billionaires in the United States? The percentage is microscopic in comparison to the other races. And I'm going to tell you why that is. We know why that is. And we also know that every corporate head, CEO, owner of a company, the leader of the board, those companies were not necessarily created under the best of circumstances. Most of the companies, I don't care what they're selling. It could be computers. I don't give a shit what it is. A lot of these corporations that have billions of dollars, somebody got shitted on in order for them to become a success. I'd say over 80% of them have some dark fucking skeletons and bones in their closets of how the company became to be, and not only that, how successful it is. There are senators and politicians and people of industry that get insider trading on stuff like that to be able to buy or sell stocks in these companies when they're about to be great or when they're about to fail. Tell me that's not cheating at the highest degree. You won't be able to get that kind of love. If we started playing in the stock market right now, even if you did get an investment guy, there's no guarantees that investment guy is going to tell you to put your money in the right thing. Most people put their money in something that's going to take a long time for that money to double or triple. In the stock market, you can fuck around and get rich like that, but it's a fucking gamble, just like gambling itself. What my Corner Store TV, YouTube, Corner Store TV, Instagram, Corner Store Television, TikTok. TikTok ain't shit no more. Let me just say that right now. But it is a useful tool. It's a useful tool. After it was sold to the American interests, it's changed quite a bit. It's not the same animal at all. So I don't really count that too tough. I haven't really done my Twitch stuff as much as I like. Everybody know Twitch is about gaming. Hell, I don't even have a gaming system no more, but I would like to be on Twitch gaming. Got to get that cracking. I'm telling you, man, if you're not trying to create something to where you ain't got to go these people and punch on no clock for them to be calling you, talking about somebody took off today. Can you come in and work on your off day? How the fuck they get to take off and you calling me on my off day to come in? That's a scheduling issue on you. You need to get some part-timers you can call in. Because if I'm working 40 hours and I'm on my off day, don't call me. I'm sorry. These companies love for you to take your dedication to them to an extreme level. They love for you to be so dedicated to where you ain't even got no life. Why not be dedicated like that to something that you're trying to create? Why not be dedicated like that to creating a viable entity that not only makes you money, makes you happy in a lot of ways? If you got your own thing going and it's successful, you're not only happy about success, you're happy about the money that you're making and be able to reinvest into that entity as well as pay your goddamn bills. And you also happy knowing you're doing something that you like to do. And you also can, write your own timetable when you want to go online, when you don't want to go online, when you want to sell this, when you want to create that, how much you need to do it, and also be able to have enough money to continue to do it at the same time. You did? Now, if you can't understand what I'm saying, it's going to go over your head. The bottom line is what I'm doing for me and what I've created is for me. And hopefully it will be, it will be a success. It will continue to grow. Corner Store TV is not only going to grow, it's going to help other people grow their brand as well, to where there can be some partnerships. The more, the merrier. The guy that's on my live stream right now is all the way over in France. Best. He's all the way over in France. And he was influenced enough by what I'm trying to do to want to partner and get down with that. If you don't see that for the blessing that it is, you tripping. Now I have another entity that's with him, and hopefully, no, not hopefully, it will be growing over in Europe. Corner Store Television will become not only a thing in the United States, and it's not even popping over here like I want. Corner Store Television, Europe is in its infancy, just like when I first started this 3-something odd years ago. It was in its infancy, having like 10, 25. I remember when I got 50 subscribers, I'm like, damn, I got 50 people. Whether they watch this or not, whether they go on YouTube just specifically to see Corner Store TV, 50 people decided to hit that damn thumbs up and also hit the subscribe button. Now I'm at almost 42,000. Make that make sense. God is real, ladies and gentlemen, dudes and dudettes. Believe that. And that's where the spiritual portion of this podcast starts. The spiritual portion of this podcast is about never giving up and never giving up on your higher power. Everybody knows who that is. And if you don't know, you better ask somebody. You don't need to go to church to talk to God every single day. Every waking hour you have, you can consult in the Almighty. And everybody who doesn't understand, God don't necessarily speak to you through words. He speaks to you through deeds, doors being opened. But the only way that's going to happen is if you actually really have a conversation with the sight unseen power. That's why people so scared to believe, because they're like, man, I can't see him. I can't touch him. I don't think he's real. I understand why you feel that way. It's a lot of misdirection and smoke and mirrors that be thrown in your face every day about God. And that's the reason why. And not only that, all of the evil shit that you see with these pedophiles in the government and pedophiles in the entertainment business. All of these people that we've admired for years coming up under scrutiny. A lot of black people feel like, oh, they just trying to destroy all of the black people that's successful. No, these black people destroyed themselves because guess what? They wouldn't have no fuel at all. They would have no fuel. How come they can't get President Obama? Because he ain't got no skeletons in his closet. And the skeletons he may have, they just not debatable in the sense of hurting who he was and his legacy. Jay-Z and them, Diddy, R. Kelly, you niggas couldn't have done, you did all the stuff that white people do. Black people can't, we can't do what these people do. And when certain white people like Harvey Weinstein or Epstein or Kevin Spacey and all these different people, when they get tired of them too, when other whites get tired of them too, all of a sudden, guess what? Your ass going to jail too. Bill Cosby, Dr. Cosby, dope as hell. One of the smartest black men, created one of the greatest TV shows that ran for years, which spawned 3 or 4 other shows. Looked like he was about to buy NBC. The biggest mistake he made trying to buy NBC was that he tried to buy NBC. They wasn't finna have no black man running no NBC. What they was gonna do is they was gonna ruin him and bring back all of the skeletons that he had with all that date rape shit that he was doing. Date rape shit that he was doing. Yeah, Bill Cosby too. You niggas who are successful in business and successful in the entertainment game, you cannot do what these depraved and immoral ass white people do. You can't get away with the shit that they do. You cannot act like them because your bank account is similar to theirs. You have to be above reproach. You have to be above reproach. In other words, you got to be closer to the higher power that you know your parents told you about, your grandparents told you about. How the hell do you think you have millions of dollars? 9 times out of 10, there's 2 reasons why there's a black person with money. 1, they aligned themselves with dark and evil shit, which rewarded them for being aligned with that. Or 2, they went through the fire, thanking God for every waking day, worked, toiled, got blessed, and they became a success. And they continued to hold God in a high esteem in order for him to protect them from all the bullshit they was going to have to endure by being rich. You remember the song Biggie made before he died? More money, more problems. That's just facts. A lot of people's misconceptions is that God is here on this planet. Nah, he's not. For those who are super Bible thumpers that be in church every fucking Sunday and all that, you know just as well as I do, God is not here. He has to be called upon in order for you to have him work in your life. That's why he sent Jesus back in the day. And you see what they did to the embodiment of the Almighty God. They tapped his ass on a cross and basically was about to burn dude at the stake. This is what they did to God. Jesus was supposed to be the avatar for God himself walking the earth because God can't come here. God created all of the heavens and the earth. He created everything. If you want his divine intervention in your life, and this is not a let me stop before I continue. This podcast ain't all about God, so I ain't trying to run nobody away. It has a lot to do with him. It's inspired by him. The Corner Store TV was created by God. Guess what? Corner Store TV, with the cussing and the rap and the movies and all the stuff I put on here, even with me, created by God. God knows who I am. If God created you in his image, everything that you about, how you cuss, how you act, all that, even the nasty thoughts you might have, these are human traits. Humans are born into sin. We're taught sin by watching other people and how they get down, but you cannot escape that. God knows that. That's why he created the so-called commandments. You never know. It could have been a man created them commandments because it's hard. I know God is real because he's worked in my life. That part I get. But these Bibles that have been created, it's kind of hard to follow that because it's man-made. They tell you these are writings by men who are supposedly writing the doctrines of what God said. Let me tell you how crazy that is. The dude, his name is John, who started the Mormon church. This motherfucker realized that control meant everything. So what does he do? This bitch ass nigga says, I'm getting a vision from the Lord. I must go to the woods for 30 days. Go look this up. I'm not lying to you. The guy who created the Mormon church, so-called, went on a pilgrimage to the woods and said to the townsfolk that he had a vision from God, and he wrote the Mormon Bible. When he created the Mormon Bible, he brought it back to the townsfolk. The folk read it and was like, oh, really? That's how we're supposed to do? And some people would read the passages, well, wow, what does this mean? And when it was something that was disputed or they asked about, he would say, I must go back to the woods and commune with God. Why you got to go by yourself? Ain't nobody else in the town had this same connection with God? This nigga wrote in the Bible that black people is cursed because we black. And then we shun God. Go look this stuff up for yourself. The Mormon Bible says that. So these Bibles, man, the words that are printed on them, they probably took passage. The real Bible is the Ethiopian Bible, for those who don't know. That's the one that was in Kush, because Ethiopia used to be Kush back in, back in the 9th century or some shit like that. That's original name was Kush. And if you remember, Nas rapped about Kush, and I know I am be what I want to be. He talked about Kush. Kush is where everybody went, everybody, to get knowledge. Not only knowledge about the world, but knowledge of God. And in the movie Kingdom of Heaven, directed by Ridley Scott and starring Orlando Bloom, go look it up, was the story. It's called Kingdom of Heaven. That was the story about the battle over the Middle East and some parts of Africa for the control of the books and the scrolls in regards to not only the world, but to God himself. Why do you think they did that? Because they wanted to control the narrative. They wanted to be able to take those scrolls. Not only, they burned the scrolls. Go look at the movie. They burned the scrolls so they could rewrite the story how they wanted it. That same Bible, which was decreed by King James, a gay king over in England, that's the same Bible they've been using to control the indigenous slaves and the indigenous slaves' offspring for over 500 years in this country. The same preachers from Creflo Dollar to Joel Osteen to Benny Hinn, all the way back to Reverend Ike back in the 70s. They have been using that same Bible. Remember back in the day when Reverend Ike and them, if you're a baby boomer like me, I'm 59. If you remember Reverend Ike, back in the day, they used to preach fire and brimstone. If you don't get your soul right with God, you going to hell. They're going to burn. You're going to miss. They used to scare motherfuckers into going to church back then. What are they doing now? How come the narrative has changed? They selling you on prosperity now. Oh, if you give, the more you give, the more God gonna give you back. What's that damn sick ass pastor that say, what's old boy name? Tyler Perry sold me that plane. He made that plane so cheap for me, I had to buy it. Don't believe the hype. Just like Flavor Flav said. Don't believe the hype. Your relationship with the Almighty It's personal between you and him. Period. Would you like to be around like-minded people that feel the same way you do? I understand that. I'm not saying if you pick the favorite church you like, you pick the pastor that seem okay with you. You ain't got to give them no money. When that collection plate come, you should just pass that motherfucker right on past. Because your tithe giving, your 10%, as they say, and a lot of people will question that. What does God need with money? What did Captain Kirk say on that one movie when they supposedly found God on that picture? What's his name? William Shatner actually directed that particular movie. I forgot. It's called The Final Frontier, where they supposedly went to the ends of the galaxy and found this planet that had this power on it that was calling itself God. I am the one. And see, what it was is this entity, which wasn't God. It was just some alien creature with all these powers that could send out all of these thoughts to people. That motherfucker just wanted to get off that planet because it was stuck there and it needed a starship. And William Shatner, he said, bring the starship closer. So the thing said to them, bring the starship closer so I may get upon it and go and spread the gospel. William Shatner said, hold on. What does God need a starship for? And the thing looked at him and said, who is this impotent creature? And he says, no. He said, answer the question. What does God need a starship for? Ask that same question like William Shatner did in that movie. What does God need money for? They'll say it's to fix the church or to build this or give backpacks. Man, you're not going to take $10,000, $15,000 from me and go to get no kids, no back to school fucking shit. Why don't you get their mama a new car? She been walking and catching a bus to church for 7-8 years. She asked the church, could you help me pay this bill? Because I ain't got no money. The church put you all... I remember that happened to me. No, I'm not going to say the church because the church was a blessing to me at the time, but they be gaming us. This one church had a community service ministry, and they had a bill paying thing where you would go in there and say, man, I'm doing bad. You had to write down on this paper what the bill was, how much it was. Do you know how much hoops them motherfuckers had to... They should be like, how much? Show us the bill, we'll handle it for you. Even if they was to come to you while you ain't got no money, you ain't working right now, whatever it is. These motherfuckers should be putting people in apartments that fell on hard times, especially devout people who've been coming to church, giving their time. I see you out here, Carmen. Carmen say, the Lord, no gender, nor ethnicity. Talk to me now. I see you on here. And that's exact, man, let me tell you something. We need to recognize what is important. Your spirituality is important. You know somebody right now in your family, in your friend circle, even if your circle is microscopic, because mine is, it's not really a lot of people I call a friend. That word be thrown around quite often. There's a lot of acquaintances you've been knowing. Shit, even when a nigga get homeless and you ask somebody for help, and they say, all right, well, I'll let you come stay here for a while. They can still be acquaintances. That don't make them a friend. That make them somebody to help you out. To be a friend, I mean, a friend is down with you when real shit happen. You can call that nigga, hey, man, that real friendship is something that just ain't one of them things these days. It's just not. But you do give thanks and blessings to people who would overextend themselves for you during hard times. I've done it for people, and people have most certainly done it for me. And you thank God for those people coming into your life. But I'm going to tell you right now, you know somebody right now that the darkness and whatever's happening in their life is eating away at their ass every day. You see the change in their demeanor. You see the change in how they bathe. You see the change in how they live. You see the change in their spirit. And you can tell him all day till you blue in the face. If you just give God his due, he gonna look out for you and shit gonna change. It's hard for people to grasp that because they can't see him. They can't really understand the concept of not. You ain't got to get on your knees. You could just be in the park sitting on a bench and just start talking up to the air and letting them know you for real, for real. Please make something happen in my life. I'm not coming to you, God, in weakness. I'm not coming to you in despair, even though I may have those feelings going on in me. All I know is I'm alive. And when you woke me up this morning, that meant I had a chance at being somebody. Because that's really all every human being wants, is to not only be somebody and be able to take care of themselves and whomever they have to take care of, to be respected. And that's why you think all these kids is in gangs? Why you think all these kids gang bang and willing to kill another nigga in order to what? Have motherfuckers respect them. Oh, that's OG so-and-so, man. He smoked 3 niggas the other day. How stupid is that? Your respect is on the fact that you murdered a nigga look just like you? If that ain't of the devil, I don't know what is. And guess what? My stupid ass fell victim to being a dummy like that too. Looking at who's selling the most dope, who got the flyest whip, who got this, who bought that house. Half these niggas that you admire are killers and rapists and some even child touchers. Dark shit only begat other dark shit. I know for a fact. Don't be misguided or misdirected by the bullshit of this world. I would be lying if I didn't say I wanted money. But what's your reason for wanting money? Keep it a band. Keep it a band. Keep it real with yourself. If you had 100 stacks right now, what's the first thing you would do? I know the first thing I would do. $100,000 don't go a long way these days. That's a lot of goddamn money, but that shit could be gone in 10 fucking minutes. Any outstanding bills that you have, clear them motherfuckers off the books. That's number one. Hopefully, what you owe don't exceed 100 grand. Hopefully, your debt is only like $25,000, $30,000. If you can wipe $30,000 off the books to get your damn credit to 700 or whatever it needs to be, or at least the high sixes, close to 7, let's say 7 even. That's a blessing. If 30,000 out of 100,000, you got $70,000 left. Now what? You gonna go put down on a house? Not me. You gonna go buy another car? Nope. If you don't take the rest of that money, take some of it and put it away in a savings and a bank account. That don't have to be a lot of money. That could be 20K. Okay, 20K, what you got? $50,000 left. I have a corner store television YouTube that I want to turn into a TV station. I'm already knowing $25,000 is going into that venture to get me a small space. Get me a small space that I can pay for 3 years. Even if you only renting it, you can go to that, man. How much is this a month? Let's say the space $5,000 a month. Do the math. Go ahead and rent that shit for 2 years. If it don't work out after 2 years, the lease over, you done. Sell the app, whatever you done bought, the equipment and everything, or sell the company and turn the lease over to them or whatever. But we're not living in a world where we're going to invest 25K and just give up after 2 years. Nah, we're not in that world. The rest of the money are going into different diversified accounts. I'm going to go to Smith Barney. I'm going to Putnam Investments. I'm going to all the investment people I can. And I'm going to get T-bills. I'm going to get accounts in energy. These pay dividends every 3 months, every quarter. If you put 20 grand in or you put 10,000 in, you're looking at $1,500 every 3 months. You can pull out. As long as you don't take the 10 grand out, you can get $1,500 every 3 months. If you get 4 of those accounts, say you put $5,000 in, probably get about what, $450 a month off the percentage of the interest every 3 months. If you can't, man, invest. God is a blessing. You have to be smart. This world is dark. This is the fucking devil. This is his playground. If you don't believe this is his playground, look at who's running the country now. This nigga rapes little girls. A bunch of them rape little girls. Turns out that shit that these bastards in the entertainment industry be saying about pizza, that's code word for little boys. Yeah. Yeah. Better watch it. Better keep your eyes on the prize. If you close to success in whatever you're doing, you better thank God and don't thank the devil. Yeah. I know it's a lot of this shit I'm saying gonna be going right over a lot of people's heads. Some people going, David Banner, I love you. Great producer, great rapper. David Banner don't believe in God. David Banner believes that the idea of God and also the devil has been put in our heads so we can blame something on when something good happens to you or when something bad happens to you. Let's just say that's true. Let's go ahead and play devil's advocate, no pun intended, and say what he's saying is true. That there is no God, there is no devil, nothing, and we just be making shit up. Like if something happened bad or your kid gets shot, you be like, oh, the devil always working. When all it's just the way things is. I don't believe that shit for a minute. It don't even sound right. He's welcome to his opinion. He's welcome to that opinion. I'm of the mind that everything happens for a reason, through the darkness or through the light. If you fucking talk negativity, if you live negativity, if you the type of nigga that you go to the store and you see a girl fat booty, nice, and you be like, damn, girl, what's up with it? I got a boyfriend. Then fuck you then, bitch. Fuck you. I ain't like your ugly ass. If you live like that, guess what's going to come to you all the time? Negative shit. You'll be in jail like, I don't know how I'm in jail, right? Because you was talking slick all the time. Everywhere you go, you ready to jump on a nigga. You ready to shoot a nigga. And the funny thing about black tough guys, they only tough against another black nigga. Why don't you do that to the Mexicans? Why don't you do that to the whites? You know, you's a bitch, that's why. We need to be fighting for each other, not against each other. This shit I'm saying right now definitely gonna fall on deaf ears. This shit I'm saying right now definitely gonna fall on deaf ears because we hate each other as black people. We fucking hate each other. I said it. It's facts. Nobody can tell me I don't show love. Since I've been doing this fucking podcast shit, I've been going to fucking showcases and going to niggas' cribs, interviewing them, driving all 70, 80 miles, going to little media events, and all that's doing is promoting they shit. I ain't getting no money behind it. Some of this shit I go to, I wish I had enough money to buy t-shirts. I wish I had 6, 7 boxes of promotional corner store t-shirts that I can tell, okay, I got 100 in this box right here. I'm going to this event. I'm going to put my table out, do my podcast, sell these t-shirts for 10 each. No, I ain't had enough money to do all that. That's where I was talking about with the 100,000. That's the kind of shit you would be doing. I found a company. Shit, you can get 300 t-shirts made for less than $200. One print on the front. You got to have the money, though, to be able to do the shit. You can have them motherfuckers sitting over in the corner. Or just white plain t-shirts, corner store television on the front. You could give some of them away. You could sell some of them. But you got to have the money to make the product, right? You want to, basically, when you put a t-shirt on a motherfucker, they're a walking billboard representing. And if they like your shit enough, if a motherfucker walk up on them and be like, what's this corner store television shit? What is that? Oh, man, this is YouTube channel. I'll be watching. This nigga named OMD Dexter. Oh, he funny. Old dude. Walking billboard. Talking billboard now. That's what I'm talking about. That's how powerful the Lord is. is that I actually don't even have all of these t-shirts. I don't, everything is word of mouth. And I got 40,000 people because of the word of mouth. Just imagine if I had the t-shirts. Just imagine if I bought the tent with the fucking logo all over. They had these tents. I found a company, they have a tent with the backdrop and the sides, everything. Flags, $1,200. $1,200. Obviously, if I was able to get the 100,000 I was just talking about, and I did take that 25 to go get me a building for X amount of months and years, buy me a small little mini truck that you can pull into the bay and close my shit up. Had the cameras in the other room set up for the podcast and maybe a photo shoot or two. What do you think? What do you think? That's where my head is at. And no, I ain't got a corporation yet. It's just like me not having a SAG card, being a non-union actor. Why in the fuck would I go get a SAG card for like $3,000-$4,000 and pay dues every month? The dues ain't really that expensive, but I'd still be paying dues. And I don't have no recurring acting job. You only do the SAG thing when not only you get an acting job that pays enough money for you to not only get the SAG card, but now you got a resume. All I've ever been in is small budget independent films, short films, music videos. I've been in a shitload of those. A couple of digital commercials. My fat ass has actually done some modeling shit. It wasn't a typical modeling stuff. It was for brochures for a company, like a medical company. And I was a perfect for that. The dude was like, you're perfect. You're perfect. Paid great money too. $1,000 a day, 2 days. That's 2 bands for 2 days work. Where do you think the 2 bands went? On these motherfucking bills, nigga. That's how they get you. They don't want you to grow. They don't want you to grow. Why do you think they want niggas working 8 to 10 to 12 hours a day? So you so tired when you get home, all you want to do is eat, sleep, shit, and do that shit all over again. You don't have time to do nothing else. Let me see what Carmen Clinton said. I have been in a different realm, near death, and I've developed a personal relationship with the Lord. I love you for saying that. I love you for saying that. And let me say something about death. Though terrible and you'll be mourning people, when you leave this earth, depending on how you was here, you're probably going to a better place than the one we call living on earth. There's a lot of people that's living their heaven on earth right now that's not going to see earth. I mean, not going to see heaven. And there's a lot of people who live in their heaven on earth, and it's all through Christ's divine grace. So they might be able to live real good here and live super better in the afterlife. That's the reason why they say in the Bible, you're supposed to celebrate people leaving here. The circumstances they might have got killed or died by on earth was definitely traumatic. It definitely threw you off. And if depending on how you really felt about that, your relative or friend or whatever, it could devastate you. But God say, fear not, mourn not. Because they definitely in a better place. The devil will have you turn away from God, just like that Bixby Knowles bullshit when that fucking bastard went to that school when you got 7 and 8-year-old kids and he killing them. That's supposed to let you know how dark. That's supposed to tell you that the devil exists on this planet and this is his playground. That's the reason you got a nigga like Trump as the president, because the devil runs this shit. That's the reason you got a nigga like Putin. That's the reason why we've had niggas like Hitler, Genghis Khan, Napoleon, Hannibal, all of these bastards that have killed and chopped off heads and did all kind of shit for power. That there should prove the existence of the dark forces on this planet that run this planet. The only power you have here on this planet, and that's why that's in my goddamn logo, that fucking planet right there, is the power you have is to pray and to choose between right and wrong. That's the only power God gave you here. It's hard as fuck to choose the right path because it's tough. When you choose the easy route, it's easy, but there's a payoff at the end for the devil, man. If you writing your name in blood on that fucking contract saying, yeah, man, I'll do, just make me famous for 20 years. You can take, why you think all these people died that's been famous? Anne Heche. All of these different people. Anne Heche wasn't nothing wrong with her psychologically. They threw her ass away like she was a piece of paper floating in the fucking street over on Hoover or Crenshaw somewhere like she trash. And she white. You see what they did to the white woman in Minnesota? The ICE nigga shot her in the face. In the face. You see what they did to Alex Perez? What do you think they're going to do to a black dude? Or a black woman? Or a black child for that matter? They got fat. That fucking, whatever that fucking nigga name that killed that boy in Florida with the hoodie, the Zimmerman nigga. That nigga ain't no white dude. He's some kind of fucking fat. Let me tell you something, man. The devil working on this planet, man. The devil working on this planet. Y'all better recognize. You better get yourselves together and start. This whole podcast is opinion-based, true enough. But my opinion is valid because it's not just about the spiritual side. It's about what this place is all about. And this place is all about some real terrible shit. The crib that you live in, wherever that is, in whatever state you live in, I'm guaranteeing you there's blood on that soil. Somebody died where you stay. Somebody died. It could have been day before yesterday. Oh, you know, I'm telling you. Shit. But many years, it's a lot of blood and guts that have been spilled in this fucking country on every single state. Somebody has been killed by the hands of another human being in order for them to become more powerful and more rich. Every inch of it, all the soil that's why everywhere is so goddamn haunted. You go to one of these ghost towns in California that used to be old Western towns. You know how many motherfuckers done died on that soil, man, from gunfights, rapes, all kind of shit. This place is built on fucking death. Death. You better get your soul right. The only way you're going to make it in this world, the only way you're going to make it in this world is through spiritual warfare. Most people ain't got enough scruples to understand that's the only way you're going to get it. And a lot of y'all is going to say, well, T.I. rich and this person's rich and that person's rich. We don't know why motherfuckers got money. We don't know why motherfuckers have money. What we do know is some people are willing to sell their soul in order to be wealthy on this planet. And that's absolute fucking facts. There's a video going around. I don't know if you guys watch the Pivot podcast. And that's with these athletes. One of them being this Crowder nigga, used to be a linebacker for the Miami Dolphins and other teams, as well as Ryan, I forget it, Ryan Clark, ex-safety for a lot of teams, actually, Washington Redskins and Pittsburgh Steelers, which I knew him for, and I forgot he played for Washington, as well as Fred Taylor. Future if not already in the Hall of Fame, I'm not sure, but future Hall of Famer, if not a Hall of Fame already. Fred Taylor used to play for the Jaguars. They just had Terrence Crawford, the boxer who beat the shit out of Canelo and became undisputed, whatever weight division he is, I forget what it is, middleweight, I think, champion. And he was asked by Crowder, I don't dislike him, but you can tell dude is a worldly person. He talks about how him and his wife, they have invited people into their bedroom, other women, and I don't know if he invited other men, I don't know. But he talks very freely about that. And the other two guys, Ryan Clark and Fred Taylor, they're much more aligned with the father. You know what I'm saying? But this guy Crowder don't make no bones about his immorality or whatever. Now look, I'm not sitting up here saying that I done had menage with chicks too and all that. I did freaky shit. I done lived in Germany when I was, man, I done kicked it did some shit I know was against the Lord. I'll be weed, all that. I ain't never been on no crack, nothing. I've sold that, sorry to say. Desperation calls for desperate things, you dig? And sometimes when you get to a certain level, after you've been desperate, now you getting it, you be like, oh, man, I'm going to keep getting it, whatever. But old boy said to Terrence Crawford, man, you retired, right? He said, but man, you mean to tell me there ain't no number that could bring you out of retirement, 25 million, 50? Well, if a nigga offered you $100 million chance with you, he's like, nah, man, ain't no amount of money. He said, shit, Crowder said to Terrence Crawford, shit, for 100, he said, I'm for 100 million, I sell my soul. Terrence Crawford looked at that nigga and said, that just proves what kind of cat you is. That just proves you have a price over your integrity and your morals. And he ain't lying. You know how many motherfuckers would say, I guarantee you on this live stream, when somebody see this and hear this part, they gonna say, Dex, you got a price. If a nigga came with the right price to you, you gonna take it too. Maybe 10, 15 years ago, you might be right, depending on what they asking me to do. Like if they're saying, let me give you an example, especially for today. If a right-wing conservative saw my YouTube channel and said, damn, he got about 50,000 people, that's pretty influential. Let's offer him some money if he switch up and start talking negatively about blacks like a lot of these black fuckers are doing. Candace Owen and all of these old bastards that look like us and speaking against their own goddamn race for a couple dollars. If a motherfucker came to me and offered me 10 million, I would happily decline today. I ain't gonna say 10, 15 years ago that I'd be like, damn, 10 million? I'll probably think about it. How long are we talking about type shit? Today, nah. And it ain't have nothing to do about my age or nothing. We're not long for this world even when we're young. You don't even realize if you're 21, you can get in the car and get on the freeway and been clowning with your homeboy smoking and have a motherfucker knock your ass off the freeway and all of y'all dead as hell. So you can be out of here like that. But what I am going to say is this. There's no price on my integrity today. Nah. You know, I'm too cool with the Lord. I see things too well. I mean, the veil has been lifted, as they say. So you're not finna just offer me a bunch of money to go against my code, especially code that's been laid down by old boy up there. And I'll be lying to say I always rock with, you know, the way God want me to rock. I'll be talking to him, please forgive me for looking at them titties. Lord, please forgive me. She got the fattest butt, Lord, in the world. Type thing, you know. Everybody know that's sinful as hell, but God also knows who you are, and he also knows he created some fine women. Some of these women have taken his creation and enhanced it with bigger breasts and booty. I don't know if that's against, you know, God. I don't know if that's a sin, but some of them have turned themselves into some real vixens out there. So you can't help but get hard when you see certain shit. But also God gets that. He understands. All he asks that you don't act on those thoughts all the time. And if you do even have those thoughts, you come to him and you say, man, I'm sorry, man. You know, Lord, who Lord? You know what I'm saying? So look, man, bottom line is this. I encourage each and every one of y'all. Shout out to Carmen Clinton on the chat too. Shout out to Best, the homie out in France. Please, you guys, go and subscribe to Corner Store Television Europe. Corner Store Television Europe. That's the sister or brother channel, if you want to call it that. The brother channel over in Europe. It's curated by my homeboy who's on the live stream, Mr. Best, Big Matt. You know what I'm saying? If you notice, he's got the wrench by his name. That wrench means he's down with you know what we doing, and he's trying to get that really popping. Not only in the States, but he's trying to get it popping way great over there in Europe. And I can't wait till, you know, it starts becoming the success it deserves to be. That's another cat too, man. You think I would be aligned with a dude clear across the pond, clear across the Atlantic Ocean from France if I didn't think he had morals, if I didn't think he was worthy of being down with my brand? Ain't just anybody finna fuck with my brand or be down with my brand. No. Sometimes you let people kick it with you and that's as evil as they could be, and they'll tear down everything you're trying to do from the inside out. You don't want to invite nobody to become a cancer. You know what I'm saying? Why do you think they call it a body of work? It's just like your actual body. You're not going to take nothing into your body that you know is going to create pancreatic cancer, or if you go and put your dick in the wrong female, you get some venereal disease, which can destroy your body. So you're not going to do that to your body of work, the stuff you're trying to create to leave a legacy. You're not going to have some fucker come in there and he, smiling in your face as soon as you leave. He up in your damn building talking negatively. You finna not have that. I know I'm not. So keep your circle small. There's only so many chances we get on this planet to be the success we're trying to be. Remember that shit. Remember that. Take that and take that and run with it. This has been another episode of the grandest podcast on YouTube. Shout out to all the other podcasts, especially cats like Willie D Live, coming straight out of Houston, Texas. You're a big inspiration to the homie, man. You're a big inspiration to me, Big Willie. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the other podcasts. Fuck these whack podcasts, Fresh and Fit, and all these old weak-ass weirdos that's out there grifting for money from white people, talking about they people. Y'all can eat a dick. And shout out to every subscriber on Korner Store Television, man. I love y'all. God bless y'all. God keep y'all. Keep rising to the top. Whatever you doing, that shit gonna pop. You just got to stay vigilant. And also, if you haven't become a member of Korner Store TV, go ahead and become a member. Become a part of the family, man. We invite you in. And it don't cost hardly nothing, man. Go check that out. You know what I'm saying? Also, go to my merch store. Cosmetic surgery is not a sanctioned task. God is perfection, no mistakes. Talk to me, Carmen. Tell them. Say that again. I want you to duplicate that and say that again. You ain't lying. Those enhancements are not are sales representatives. I just fell in love with you. I just fell in love with you, man. God bless you, Carmen. God bless you, Carmen. Love you. Love all of y'all on the chat. What's up, man? Best, you still in the building, man? You still in the building? Let's try to do, we're going to try to do our podcast on Saturday, bro. Korner Store Television International Podcast this Saturday, bro. This Saturday, let's do it at 11 a.m. if you're not busy. If you are, we most certainly, rearrange that. Check me out next week. Korner Store Television, Korner Store Podcast, every Tuesday, every Thursday. We coming at you. We talking to you. We loving on y'all. And we definitely need y'all to continue to rise and prosper. Please tell everybody that you know about Korner Store Podcast and Korner Store TV on YouTube. I love y'all. This your boy OMD. Stay doing what you do. I'll holler at you. Peace.